it's a pretty simple concept, but again, sometimes the audio person gets set on details that aren't necessarily this detail, but I try to train everybody to watch for this. But when the talker is talking, making sure that the background music isn't competing with them so that it's hard to understand them. So one of the things that I ask the sound person, and then therefore the producer, to make sure happens is that if the MC is talking, make sure that they are pushing the MC up above everything else. And then if it's the MC, they're pulling down literally the full band slider sufficiently, even down here to -20, such that the MC can very clearly stand out. And even if we're in the middle of worship, so they might come up and say, hey, I've got a word from the Lord. This is something very important. The Lord wants us to press in. Now let's go back into worship. Then you'd come back here and basically go back into worship by pushing this back up to 0. If we're going out of worship, and this is the amen at the very end, of course you would come in, you push the MC up, you'd pull down the full band, and you're not trying to push it back. It literally could be going slowly and slowly farther away. But the more they start talking about announcements, things like that, it's all the way off basically, or the band's gone, maybe even after an amen. That allows us to keep the talker up on top of the band, or up on top. If it's one of the band members that stops basically in the middle of singing and starts talking, let's say it's vocalist 2, you say again, you push the vocalist 2 up on the top of the mix, but also you would pull down something that's competing with them. Well, it's not the same slider, it's not the full band slider, because that would control them as well. You say instead it's probably the instruments, and so you pull down just the instrument slider to give them enough room to be on the top of the mix. When they're done talking and they say, hey, let's press in, all right, let's go back into worship, pull them back down to their normal level and push the instruments back up. And you can actually do this within just a couple of seconds. If you take 10 seconds to do that, people will start to notice. So you just kind of do it very quickly to let them stand out and say what they need to say.